This is Solar Wind Radio. Welcome to Solar Wind Radio Theater. In this episode, we present Sadness by Ron Harrison Sunhawk Schaefer. Sadness. The seaside. A woman is resting on a blanket by the beach. Sunglasses, sun hat, beach attire, book in hand. She reclines in a folding chair designed for the beach. This is Jean. She looks up over her book out at the sea.
Don't go too far, honey. Stay in where I can see you.
She goes back to her reading.
Jack? Jack! Jack!
She throws her book aside and dashes off. A confessional. Inside is a rather scruffy-looking young man. This is Gabe.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
And what are your sins, my son?
I've killed a priest.
What's that?
I've committed murder. A priest.
Which priest?
You.
Fires a shot from a pistol concealed in his coat, then quickly exits the booth. The counter of a discount store. A man appears wearing a ski mask. This is Tate. He pulls out a shotgun.
Open the cash register, and you won't get hurt. Watch where you put your hands. Now down, on the floor. Hands and feet spread out where I can see them. Move!
An abandoned fishing shack by the sea, rotting wood, boarded up windows, some which have been broken. There are a few old torn nets and a few other implements of the shack's past life as a processor. But for the most part, all equipment was taken out long ago. The only furniture left is in shabby or broken condition. The wood looks weathered and rapidly aging. There are 2 tables, stained and originally used for chopping up fish. A boarded-up slough is at the end of each, originally for tossing fish scraps into. Both Tate and Gabe stand in the doorway wearing dirty prison clothes, their faces and hands smeared with mud.
I told you nobody'd been here for ages.
Who the hell keeps it then? Who locks it and for what?
They enter cautiously.
I think the owner's dead.
Nobody comes looking around at this property.
Yeah, I've never seen it in all the time I've lived in the area.
That doesn't mean it won't happen now.
Anyway, it'll be a good hideout until we can find something better.
You hope? This place stinks.
Well, you weren't expecting the Hilton, were you?
What did you say it was?
They cleaned the fish here they brought in from the sea. My uncle worked on their boat for a while.
And they're all dead, you say?
Far as I know.
Rats!
Gotta live someplace. Look, here's a lantern.
Does it work?
Sounds like there's some kerosene in it yet.
It'll come in handy. I don't suppose we can let some light in here somewhere. Get a little fresh air in the place. Can anybody see us out there?
From across the bay? If we stand up a chair and build a bonfire.
Just don't want any nosy folks coming around.
Gabe finds one of the window boards is loose and manages to prop it aside to let in more light and air.
Get cold at night?
If the wind comes down from the north, usually it's pretty mild.
At least we won't have to start any fires to keep us from freezing. All right, I guess we can stay here until the heat's off. What do we do about food and clothes?
There's a market down the road. There's a Goodwill on the other side of the bay. Sometimes they don't get their new stuff right away, and it sits outside for an hour. There's a landfill in the other direction. Never know what you're going to find there.
I suppose food will be the problem. I don't need to knock over another store. That's how I got into this mess in the first place.
Maybe we can sneak things off a delivery truck.
Let's hope we find a stupid driver.
If you look around and back, I bet one of those old skiffs still floats. We could do some fishing.
You a fisherman?
I've done it.
We can use these old nets?
I suppose I can make do.
Any other equipment?
We'll scrounge. Look, I didn't say we'd have it on Easy Street. I just knew of a place we could hide.
Yeah. I'm just picturing how lucky we're going to be using this stuff to fish. And how much I might like eating fish day after day if we are.
It'll only be temporary. You're a resourceful guy.
I better be. You too.
Which one you want?
What?
The tables. Which one you want? To bunk on? These are our beds.
Fish tables?
There is the floor and the rats.
I'll take this one.
First thing we should do is find a new set of duds.
Goodwill or landfill?
Landfill is easier.
Until we move up in the world. All right, let's go.
Let me put up a board to the door. Evidence somebody else has been poking around.
Good idea. The window too.
Just close it.
Honey, it's the honeymoon cottage I've always dreamed of.
They leave. Night. The place is closed up for the evening. A lantern lights the room. Tate and Gabe are sitting about in clothes they have obviously pilfered from somewhere. They are finishing up a meal.
I don't think I'll develop a taste for Spam, especially if it's cooked by cigarette lighter.
It's food.
So the army told their soldiers. Other people have different opinions.
We're going to have to get our hands on some real cash. Otherwise, we'll be living like scavengers.
And what would you suggest?
You're the thief around here.
So, I'm in charge? And if there's any murdering to be done, I should step aside and let you handle it.
I told you. That was a revenge thing. I wasn't thinking clearly.
Shooting a priest? I should say not.
He had mishandled my kid brother. The church wasn't going to do anything about it.
Well, maybe we should rob a church then. If any priests get in the way, I'll let you take care of it while I crack the safe.
We need cash.
Don't remind me. I used to be able to handle ATMs, but they put cameras on them now.
Well, get your costume.
No, but how well do you know the area around here?
I grew up around here. Why?
Do they have any of the older banks in the area? One of those that haven't been bought out by a huge bank chain?
There's a farmer's bank on the other side of town, along Highway 51. I think that's still a small operation. That was before I did time.
With any luck, they haven't hooked up their ATMs to a larger network. I used to be able to crack a code on those older machines.
They were designed to be jam-proof.
Were. Trouble is, the bankers got too clever too fast.
And if it doesn't work?
We raid someplace else. That Goodwill store, for example. They have cash registers.
You have to get in first. I'm not walking in with a shotgun, even if we had one.
Nah, that doesn't work well. You do that stuff when you're desperate.
You did.
I was desperate.
Well, good. Because if we have to go around breaking into things, people know my face around here. Some of them, anyway. I don't need my picture splattered about as the next Dutch Schultz.
You're a felon anyway.
Yeah, but they'll sniff us out much faster. We got ourselves a safe spot right now.
In for how long? No, I wasn't thinking in terms of knocking places over. How well do people know you around here?
Well, here, not so much. I actually lived about 20 miles south of here, but I spent a lot of time during the summers around the fishing village. Uncle John was on a boat up here.
So you say. I'm not known. I can take a walk down Main Street and pick out a possible target.
What about the news? Aren't we in the news?
Tate pulls out a wig from a bag full of odds and ends.
I'll just have to look like somebody else then, won't I?
I was wondering why you were collecting all that junk.
Unlike you, my impassioned colleague, who commits crimes on a whim, I actually think about what I'm going to do first.
All right. So, what do I do while you're being clever?
Something you already know how to do. Fish.
It is later that day. Same scene. Tate enters looking a bit forlorn, carrying some supplies with him. He looks around, sees Gabe is nowhere to be found, and places an old camp stove on top of one of the tables. He attaches a fuel bottle to it, and with his cigarette lighter, lights it. He pulls out a jug filled with water, fills an old teapot, and puts that on the stove. Gabe enters in similar spirits.
Did you get anything?
Tate shows off the stove.
I mean money.
Things locked up tighter than I expected.
I thought you were the great whiz at all this stuff.
I'm not a miracle worker. I don't see you bringing a load of fish with all your skills.
With that boat? And the equipment I got?
And that's no good?
Could be better, but they would help too. What are you doing?
Making coffee.
I guess that'll come in handy.
You think?
So, what do we do now?
What do you mean?
Think we should stick around? Without money?
There's time. I spent a few minutes in town. Word's out about us, but nobody's paying much attention. You know what kind of people these folks are?
Yeah, they mind their own business type.
Thought so. No, if we can stand the accommodations for a while, we'll be okay until the heat's off. Then we'll make a move.
Sure?
Meanwhile, we can scrounge for things. I'll see if I can pop us up some funds from somewhere. We'll be okay.
I'll have some of that coffee.
Wait till it's ready.
So where do we go from here?
You're first thinking of that now?
Hey, an opportunity arose and we took it. We didn't plan much beforehand.
I'll say. You sure didn't ask about where we're going before.
Okay, so now I'm asking.
Go to Mexico, I suppose. Change our names. You've worked on a boat before, haven't you?
A couple of summers.
Maybe go to a little fishing village in Baja. They don't ask too many questions there. We can eventually get our papers.
How?
It's Mexico! You can make friends with the right people. Do some favors.
I ain't getting involved with that crowd.
You don't have to. Just a few errands and you're out.
Bullshit.
There's a way to handle it. Leave it to me.
Weren't you in prison just a few days ago? Fat lot you know about handling things.
It takes a little effort.
Like the way we're handling things here?
Will you relax? Things take time, I told you.
Easy for you to say. I never ran from the law before.
Oh, and that's my expertise?
You had a record. I'd never seen the inside of a jail before.
You killed a priest! That's a good way to start. I think the water's hot. Can hardly tell with this thing.
Where'd you find this coffee?
Gas station. Clerk was busy. It's instant, you know.
It's something. Take the taste of the water away.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to boil some of this water we're pilfering.
Think there's something in it?
You mentioned yourself about the taste. Far as I know, that's just rust from the pipe.
Just?
Still, if we boil some and keep it on hand, maybe it'll be better. I'll see if I can find a few more jugs.
I hate lugging water all over creation.
You want to drink something, don't you? You may even occasionally want to wash.
Yeah, well, I suppose I could do with a wash at that. Hell, we could jump in the ocean for that.
We still need water. No sense escaping cops only to die of bad water.
I suppose. Can you speak Spanish?
No.
If we go to Mexico, don't you think that might help?
So we learn.
You planning to kidnap a Spanish teacher?
Enough people speak English down there. We'll get by.
Your confidence is awesome.
You make do when you need to make do. What do we do for dinner?
What do we got?
Beans. We go to Mexico, we learn to love beans.
Anything else?
There's a loaf of bread left.
Beans and bread. Yum.
That package of cupcakes left over. Oh, and the beef jerky.
We'll be eating like kings.
Beggars can't be.
Ah, shut up.
When you shot that priest, do you think your life was going to get better? So, you're the reactive type.
That holdup. That was hardly the job of a mastermind.
I told you I was desperate. Sometimes a man just gets desperate.
Well, here we are. The reactive and the desperate. Eating beans and jerky and drinking instant coffee in an old fish shack.
You do the honors. I heated water. You need to get used to the stove.
Yes, Sahib. Anything you say, Sahib.
Tate goes to open the door.
I hope you're planning our escape route while we're waiting.
Just heat the beans.
Tate pulls out a cigarette and lights it, staring out the doorway.
How far can that boat you're using go?
With or without sinking?
Can it get us across the bay at night?
I guess.
You can operate a pleasure cruiser or a fishing yacht, can't you?
Yeah. But don't forget, there's such a thing as the Coast Guard, and everybody's got a harbor patrol these days, here and in Mexico. Apparently nobody trusts anybody anymore.
Just shut up and make the beans.
Gabe continues his cooking preparations. Tate continues to stare out the doorway. The shoreline. Day. Gabe is busy, bucket in hand, picking up small pieces of driftwood and placing it in his container. He stops himself and stares. He suddenly looks around as if looking for help. Seeing no one else, he drops his bucket of wood chips and dashes off. Tate wanders in, it's out ahead.
What the hell are you doing?
Tate stands, watching for a few moments, his curiosity piqued, but exhibiting no other sense of anxiety. Gabe returns, soaking wet from head to foot. In his arms, he carries Jean, who is also soaking wet and wearing only undergarments. Gabe sees Tate waiting for him, a questioning look in his eyes, but Gabe ignores him and places Jean down on the ground.
It's a lady!
Gabe isn't sure what to do with her at first and stares up at Tate as if Tate has the answer. Gabe then pushes down on Jean's stomach, giving her a slight tummy rub. Jean, who had been rather comatose, suddenly coughs up a mouthful of water and gasps. Gabe gives her a few mild slaps on the face, and Jean starts coughing violently. Gabe moves back, staying in his crouch, and watches her. Tate steps forward and stands over Jean, watching.
You alright?
You can see she's not?
Maybe we should get her inside.
Get involved with a woman?
She almost drowned.
And you had to be the hero and save her.
What would you do?
None of my business. I'd have let her go under.
Some help you are.
You asked.
Are you alright, lady?
What did you save me for?
You mean you wanted to drown?
Oh, great.
I wanted to go swimming on a day like this.
What were you doing out there?
What do you think?
Here. You better come inside. Get rid of those wet things. You'll catch your death.
Gabe?
Why don't you leave me alone?
Gabe, come on.
What are you trying to kill yourself for? I don't know what your circumstances are, but are things really that bad?
Oh, for heaven's...
You're weak. How long were you out there? Can you stand?
Jean tries to stand but collapses and passes out.
We'd better take her inside. She's nearly dead.
Gabe, don't!
Gabe picks up Jean and starts to carry her off.
Can you bring the bucket?
What the hell were you doing with it? Gabe?
Gabe continues to carry Jean off. Tate shakes his head, picks up the bucket and any loose wood that fell out of it, and follows. Inside the fishing shack, at one end of the room there is a fire burning. The bucket with wood is nearby. The table near the fire may have been moved to make room for the improvised fireplace. Jean is lying on one of the tables wrapped up in an old worn blanket. Tate is sitting at the opposite end, staring into the room. Gabe enters with a jug of water.
It'll be nice when we get plumbing in here.
And when will that be?
Just wishful thinking. I'm tired of lugging these jugs around.
Said the old whore.
What?
A joke? I'm tired of lugging these jugs around, said the old whore.
You would have made it as a comedian.
Why do you think I steal? What's to become of her?
I don't know.
You've been fluttering around her like an old mother hen for the last few hours. Thought maybe you had a plan?
How is she?
Hasn't woken up yet.
I wonder what drove her to it.
Gabe, if you start wondering what drives people to do dumb things, you should at least start with us.
Oh,
She's coming around.
where am I?
People really do say that? I thought that only happened in the movies.
You're all right now. You're safe.
Who are you?
I'm the guy who dragged you out of the water. Don't you remember?
Oh, my head. What happened?
You mean you don't know? Here, I made up some coffee. This may help.
Don't get your hopes up. It's instant.
She notices Tate for the first time and is also surprised to see him. She accepts the coffee mug from Gabe and takes a sip.
Sorry you don't have any cream or sugar. Beggars.
Can't be choosers.
But we're working on it.
Where am I?
You do the honors, she'll keep saying it until you tell her.
You're in an old shack by the sea. Tate and I kind of live here. Temporarily. That's Tate, I'm Gabe. I fished you out of the water. Lucky for you, I saw you out there.
Lucky.
What were you doing out there? Didn't you see how rough the water was? We've had pretty strong winds all day.
How long have I been here?
A couple of hours. You were out cold. Lucky for you, I was able to make up a fire in that old flue shaft. Cut a hole in the ceiling for the smoke. It's kind of chilly at night. You'll get warm now. You'll be all right.
You keep telling me I'm lucky.
Well, you are. You could be dead right now.
What a shame that would be.
Wouldn't it? Were you trying to kill yourself?
Gabe,
What's wrong with asking? Hell, I dove in to save her.
I don't want to seem ungrateful, but you needn't have bothered.
That's a way to talk?
Yes. I was trying to kill myself. I don't seem to be very good at it either. Let's leave it at that.
Gabe starts preparing something in the kitchen.
You hungry? We've got some food.
it ain't much, but it'll keep you alive. Then again, if it's suicide you want, have 2 helpings.
No, thank you. I'm not hungry.
You should eat something. You're probably still cold. Is the fire hot enough?
I'm warming up. Who undressed me?
You did. You jumped in the water with your undies. I didn't look for anything out there. But if you left your clothes on the shore, they'd probably blown away by now. We'll get you something you can wear. They won't be fashionable, but we have a few extra items.
I'm being a bother to you, aren't I?
No.
Yes, she is. Look, we haven't prepared to take in boarders. We barely make do ourselves. But if you need a place to crash for a little while, I guess there's no harm in having you here. Just once, you get on your feet. If you're going to stay, you should pull your own weight. You know what I mean?
I guess that's fair.
You from around here? You got a home nearby?
Near enough to be far.
Got a car?
Of a sorts.
What does that mean?
Means I wasn't expecting to come back to it. Ever.
And that means...
I threw the keys into the sea.
But it's nearby. We could hotwire it and drive it.
I suppose.
Gabe? Gabe? What are we waiting for?
And leave her?
Take her with us then.
I'm not going anywhere. You want to have the car take it. I don't care.
Tate, you shouldn't just leave her. You said yourself we should stay put until the heat's off.
We can go someplace where there is no heat.
Tate, really? I think we should stay until we get her on her feet.
You're not getting soft on this gal, are you?
No. It's just... she's so helpless right now. Please?
Bet you took in stray dogs when you were a kid, didn't you? All right. We'll stick around and take a look at this car in the morning. We're not going to stay forever. Understand?
Gotcha, Tate.
Don't do me any favors.
Listen, honey. We went to... At least Gabe went to great lengths to save your ass. You could spend a little energy being grateful.
I didn't ask for his help.
And I wouldn't have given it. I'd have let you drown. Thank him. He's the one who gives a shit.
I'm sorry. guess I'm coming across as an ungrateful bitch.
You guess?
It's all right. We all go through bad times.
Like us now.
I just saw somebody in trouble and wanted to help. I didn't know. Well, you've got a right to do what you want to. You want to go out there again, I guess? I can't stop you. But this way, you've got a second chance to reconsider.
No, I wouldn't go out again. What would be the point?
What was the point the first time?
The pain?
And now?
A little more pain?
No feeling at all. Thank you.
For what? Seems I just made you miserable.
That's not your fault. Maybe it will help.
Are you going to make dinner? Or what?
You're in for a pleasant surprise. No more spam.
I don't care what it is. Just deal it up. I'll see what I can dig up out of the laundry bin for the lady.
Tate leaves.
Any more coffee?
I'm fine. He doesn't like me much, does he?
Tate. He blows hot and cold. He's probably miffed there's an extra mouth to feed for the moment. But don't let him get to you. He didn't want to see you drown any more than I did.
What made you take up in this old shack?
Long story. The short answer is there were a couple of undesirables.
Then maybe I belong here.
You should concentrate on feeling better. You ain't out of the woods yet, you know? You could have gotten pneumonia or something bobbing up and down in the water like that. Even if you didn't succeed with your original intent.
My name's Jean, by the way.
Nice to know you, Gene.
Gabe goes on fixing up dinner. Jean continues to sip her coffee and staring out into space. You're listening to SW Radio. This is SW Radio Theater. It is night in the fishing shack. The lantern and fire are going to provide heat and light. One end of the room has been sectioned off by means of an old fish net on which have been hung a few old blankets. Gabe is busy trying to press out the wrinkles of an old shirt.
Here, try this on.
He tosses the shirt over the blanket partition.
Thanks.
It probably smells funny, but it's the best we could do.
Actually, it's not too bad.
Tate enters carrying a bottle.
Where's the girl?
Gabe points to the makeshift curtain.
You're becoming a real Susie homemaker, aren't you?
You can't expect a lady to share a room with a couple of bachelors and not have her own space.
How gallant.
Your friend has actually been quite chivalrous. He must have had a thoughtful mother raise him.
That's debatable.
He has even assumed I'm a lady.
You mean you're not?
I mean, he seems to think I'm higher in society than in reality.
Why not?
Just don't get carried away.
There's nothing wrong with fixing a space for her if she's going to be here a while.
How long? We don't even know how long we'll be here.
No, but until then. Even fixed up a bed for her. Back there. Found some more blankets, back where we found the others. And even some straw. Can't expect her to sleep on these old fish tables. And even if she did, where would you and I go?
Ready?
Jean flips back the blanket and poses herself in her frumpy, ill-fitting garb as if posing for a magazine cover.
Not bad.
It almost fits.
This is the style they're wearing in Cannes this year.
All right, madam. Let's celebrate your debut. I brought us something. They'll get those ocean chills out of your system.
Rye? Ew. Strong stuff.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Where'd you get it?
I'm a thief, duh. Tonight's on me.
Here, wait a minute. You don't expect the lady to drink out of the bottle with us.
Why not?
It wouldn't be proper.
Jesus.
Gabe scurries to get some cups.
What now?
We have some cups, you know. I washed these myself. You saw the way I was slaving in the kitchen while you were out gallivanting around.
My God, you did have a mother.
Here, you pour.
All right then, Emily Post, what do we drink to?
To us.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, my God.
Not a rye drinker, are you?
No.
You want to kill yourself? Do it with this. The journey's better.
Well, it seems we did get her to smile a bit.
Maybe we're worth something after all.
Listen, I do want to thank you both for your help. My problem is my problem. You couldn't know that. But for what you did, you've both been very kind, and I appreciate all you've done.
All right then, let's keep drinking.
We should celebrate. Freedom!
To freedom! To anarchy!
To anarchy!
To unused fishing sheds!
To unused fishing sheds! To spam!
Oh, what the hell!
To
spam!
I have one. To my bodyguards.
To drinking till you puke!
No, thank you.
Drinking till you puke. Wait. I have one more. To friendship.
To friendship.
It is later. The lantern has been turned off, the fire is nearly out. Only a few glowing embers remain. A bottle of whiskey is somewhere nearby and severely depleted. There is snoring going on from the men in their respective bunks. Jean gets up from her corner, her head swimming. She stumbles about, looking for the door, opens it, and steps outside. Tate, who is nearest the bottle, half awake, tries to cover himself better from the chill of the air. He grabs the bottle and pulls it towards him as if it were a teddy bear and falls back asleep. Jean returns, rubbing herself to shake off the chill, closes the door behind her, and finds her way back to the cot. Unable to sleep, she sits up and goes to the window nearest her and opens its shutter. The window, which is actually broken glass, has a covering of clear plastic over it. She sits back down and stares up through it, looking out at the stars. Gabe wakes up.
Can't sleep?
Just needed some fresh air. You know, despite all the holes in this place, it gets rather stuffy. Boys make it stuffy.
Do we?
I don't know if it's the smoke, the snoring, the belching, the farting, or the uncooked food.
You want the chimney opened?
No, it's rather chilly. And there's a little bit of fresh air coming from this window. It's enough.
Sorry. Beggars.
Can't be choosers. It's not your fault. It's me. I had enough of the bottle to knock me out. My conscience is not as easily appeased as yours.
I wouldn't say that. We need stuff like that to knock back our consciences.
Got a cig?
All out.
Never mind.
Mind if I ask?
What?
For water.
Oh. No, I guess not. My only child drowned out there, little over a week ago. My husband, he's a rat. We divorced some time ago. I forbid him custody. He wouldn't have cared anyway. The boy hardly ever saw him. Went out playing in the water. I was watching, but the tide took him.
Not your fault, you know.
I know, but I've been losing jobs here and there, supporting us on a couple of part-timers, but companies are cutting back. Cheaper to buy high school kids than somebody who's been on the payroll a while. Child support doesn't show up. Apply for food stamps. Blah, blah. I'm sure you've heard it before.
Yeah, I suppose. It's one thing to hear about it, another to live it.
I just got fed up. And I miss him. I miss my Jack. I miss my little boy.
How old?
7.
Relatives?
An older sister signed me up with a counselor. I suppose I should see him and tell him all this.
Everybody feels rotten at a time like this. You just can't let it take you out of the game.
I know. Believe me, I know. I've said the same thing to myself plenty of times. Said the same thing to friends when they were going through rough times. I just don't know if I can do it myself.
Sure you can. We'll help you. We're your friends.
Thanks. I appreciate that. You don't know how I appreciate that.
Gabe finds himself being used as a pillow in which Jean buries herself, and he awkwardly puts his arm around her.
We should have saved some of that hooch for the middle of the night. You would go good right now.
I think Tate still has some.
Good luck getting it away from him. You just relax now. Try to get some sleep. You'll feel better in the morning.
Gabe finds a rag to use as a handkerchief that he hands to her.
You lay down now and don't let it be a bother you. We'll talk about this in the morning.
You never told me why you guys ended up here. What brought you to this miserable place of self-pity?
What a clever way to describe it. I guess it sort of is something of that, isn't it? Prison. We're ex-cons.
You mean escapees?
Yes. I thought you figured that out.
Well, do you expect to get away?
Don't know. We're gonna try.
What did you do?
Tate? Armed robbery.
And you?
Murder. You get some sleep now. Everything will look better in the morning.
Gabe tucks her in and then goes back to his own bunk. Jean lies awake, staring at the two of them. Outside along the shoreline, Jean is washing clothes in a bucket and wringing them out to dry on a rock. Gabe is nearby, once again collecting firewood. Tate wanders in with a bucket of his own.
What did you want with these damn shells again?
Use them for utensils and things. Spoons, little knives, containers.
Can't we get enough from the landfill?
They're free here. You always want to hop a fence and face a guard dog?
I've done worse. We can always just...
You keep stealing, and sooner or later your picture is going to be around town, and not just the post office. The fewer chances we have to take, the better.
Tate goes off.
Gabe? How long are you planning to stay?
I don't exactly know. Why?
Just wondering.
It's not so easy with your car being towed. You shouldn't have parked it where you did.
I wasn't thinking.
Hmm.
Did you mean what you said about how you got into prison?
What did I say?
Well, murder, for one.
Yes.
And Tate, armed robbery?
He held up a 7-Eleven. Of course, there were a string of them before I got around to that one. But it was the only one he used a gun for. That's what got him this time.
And you? Any other murders?
Just one. Ain't one enough?
Who was it?
Sure you want to talk about this?
If you don't mind.
He was a priest.
Oh. And what made you...
Molested my kid brother. I'm funny about things like that.
Did you tell anybody?
Yeah, but it didn't do no good. Got to me. All this passing the buck. Guess I wasn't thinking either.
Tate returns.
This sucks.
Let's see what you've got.
Can't we just raid a gas station?
You pick up a shotgun somewhere? Want to try another 7-Eleven?
I don't have the patience for this kind of stuff.
You're pretty good at whiskey bottles.
When the clerk's not looking.
Oh, here's a nice one. Yeah, these are okay. We could probably use some of this.
I feel like caveman days.
Well, what would you suggest? That doesn't get us noticed. There are only so many shops in this area.
That's why we should be on the move pretty soon, before you get too comfy in your own domestic bliss.
All right. We'll talk over some plans tonight. Go ahead, stash those inside.
That's another thing. What about her?
We'll talk about it tonight.
Tate shrugs and walks off.
Where would you go?
On the run? We had toyed with the idea of Mexico. Guess that's still our first option.
When you go, take me with you?
Now, why would you want to string along with a couple of convicts?
I'm like you. I've got no place to go either. With my car impounded, sooner or later they're going to come looking for me. Then I'll be on the run like you.
You don't have to be.
My old life means nothing to me anymore.
What about old family? Friends?
Have any? At least not many. Nobody I'm close to. I quit the job, you know. I wasn't planning to return. There's just nothing to hold me here.
Leaving loose ends behind? Those loose ends can search you out. You might be taking a chance with us, but we'd be taking a chance with you. Besides, things get tight. Kate and I won't stay together. Easier that way. We split up. Where would you go?
I could stay with you, couldn't I?
I don't know. Not practical, actually. That is, if we do have to split.
All I ask you to do is think about it.
Yeah, I guess we can think about it. That my shirt?
Yeah, a washing machine would really help.
Not sure it wouldn't save it.
I feel so tribal out here. Washing shirts in the sun, banging them dry on a rock.
We end up in Mexico, you may be doing a lot more of that.
Gabe heads in. Jean stares out at the surf.
Jackie? Jackie? Have you found peace out there? Should Mama have joined you? Should I have let you go? Will you ever let Mama go?
Jean gets up with her bundle of clothes and bucket and heads off. Night inside the fish shack. Jean appears to be asleep. Tate and Gabe are up, talking by the fire.
The woman is going to be trouble.
Jean. Her name is Jean.
All right. But she's going to be trouble. It'll be tough enough, just the two of us.
She won't be trouble.
So you say. Then again, we can always use her for a hostage if we get into trouble.
Hostage?
In an emergency. Thing is, taking a hostage won't help us any with the law. But then, I did say emergency. We've both got felony charges against us. And the prison break? But you've got a murder rap. It really won't make any difference. Me? It would complicate things.
Then why do it?
We would have to have guns pointed at us. I said emergency. And that's the only value I see in her.
She could go places we couldn't. She could be useful. Her face is not on any wanted poster.
What about missing persons? A slightly different circle, maybe, but she'll be on the lam. If she doesn't want it to be found, as much as we are, I don't see any good coming of this.
I still think we should take her with us.
What is she to you anyway? You've been falling all over yourself since she arrived.
I have not.
No. You tried to give this place the good housekeeping seal of approval since you brought her in here.
Is there anything wrong with wanting to make this pigsty livable?
Maybe not. But we really should be spending more energy looking for a way out, rather than trying to decorate.
It was you who thought we should wait till the following morning to check out her car.
How the hell did I know she put it in a tow-away zone?
Without checking. You didn't want to see her go any more than I did.
Okay, we screwed up on that one. I screwed up, I admit. It's nice having a woman around, but she's trouble, Gabe. She'll be the end of us somewhere down the road, you know. We've been here for a while now. Some of that heat is probably gone, and we are still in good shape at the moment. I say we make our break tomorrow. We say thanks for staying around. We wish you well. Good luck. Stay away from shorelines from now on, and we hightail it out of here without her.
I don't know if I can agree with that.
Why not? You are sweet on her, aren't you?
I don't know.
You're going to have to make up your mind sooner or later. Say, you two take up with her, where are you going to go? What would you do?
I don't see the difference. Why can't you come along with us?
You drag her along, I'm going by myself. I don't need the anchor weight of 3.
Why would our presence, hers and mine, be an anchor weight? Why wouldn't it be a help? Why can't this be a cooperative venture?
Cooperative venture? You sound like a banker. Count. The number is 3. 3 mouths to feed. 3 faces to hide. 3 people to transport. 3 people to shelter. And one of those 3 is a girl. With girly needs, girly susceptibilities, girly ways of screaming at inappropriate times. Come on, Gabe.
She can handle it.
Why? Because she doesn't give a shit about life anymore? That'll change when we're on the move. You'll be surprised at how self-preservation takes over.
I'm not going to leave her.
Jesus, you are hooked.
Tate goes over to his bunk and lays down.
You want any more hot tea?
I hate tea. It'll only make me pee in the middle of the night anyway. And then I can't do it by the door, or I'll offend little Nanny Nellie's sensibilities. So I have to grope for the little boy's room you constructed. Put the fire out and go to sleep. It's warm enough in here.
We haven't resolved this, you know.
No shit.
Gabe starts to put the fire out and closes down the hole in the ceiling.
You're not going to leave on your own, are you?
And what if I did?
We're in this together, Tate. You've always said so before we broke.
I wasn't counting on Mademoiselle at the time.
Promise me you won't go until we've had more time to think this through.
We don't have a lot of time. Never did.
But you won't take off right away without hearing more? I'd like to know what she thinks.
You're hopeless.
We're better together, you and I. We're better than we were when we were off on our own.
Yeah, the 2 of us. Get some sleep.
Tate turns over, done with the conversation. Gabe watches him for a moment, then looks at Jean. He puts himself to bed as the last of the fire dies. Jean raises herself up, watching to see if either of the others stir. You're listening to SW Radio. This is SW Radio Theater. The current program you're listening to is Sadness by Ron Harrison Sunhawk Schaefer. It is morning. Gabe comes dashing out, looking around him.
Jade! Jade!
Tate comes stumbling along, a puzzled look on his face.
Where did everybody go?
It's Jade! She's missing!
She took off?
Oh, she must have heard us last night.
Well, good. Then she knows where it stands.
She should be in on the conversation.
Serves her right for falling asleep.
I gotta go find her.
Why?
Who knows what state her mind's in? She's likely to do anything.
My dear compadre, have you checked the water? I suggest you start there.
Help me find her.
Oh, man. I haven't even had my morning coffee yet.
She could be in trouble.
Then she's not our problem. Settle down, boy. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Oh, you don't care. You never cared. You probably don't even care about me. You probably don't even care about you.
Ah, there you're wrong. I care very much about me.
Gabe storms off.
Put an ad in the paper. Wanted. One crazy fucked up bitch. Reply, the fish shack.
Tate wanders about staring out at the sea.
It's time to go, you know. Gabe? Gabe! Dumb son of a bitch.
Tate also takes off. Later in the day at the fish shack, Tate carries in Jean, dumps her on the floor in front of her space. He then goes over to the kitchen and starts to make his instant coffee, mixing it with a pot of hot water already on the stove.
Why did you bring me back?
What the hell do I know? What were you doing out there anyway?
Thinking?
You wouldn't be here if you'd spent any time thinking. At least you can talk. I thought you were zoned out on meds out there, staring away like a goddamn corpse.
Tate approaches her and hands one of 2 cups he has made her.
Why are you being nice? You don't even like me.
Sister, you got some serious problems. Okay, your kid's dead. Your husband ran away. Shit happens. Now you're worried about whether or not I like you? Snap out of it.
You've got problems. You're a crook and a runaway. That doesn't get to you?
I'd be lying my ass off if I said it didn't get to me. I just tell my conscience to shut up, that's all. You gotta get a grip.
You're right. You know, I don't really care if you do like me or not. Either one of you. Not in the long run. But right now, it's important somehow.
Jesus, you're screwy.
You won't take me with you.
I don't know. It complicates things. Why do you want to take up with a couple of cons anyway?
I had no place to go.
You had a home, didn't you? And a car before it was towed.
It's filled with ghosts.
And living in a shack near the seashore where you lost your kid somehow isn't? It's not that I don't like you. It's just, well...
I want someone to love me. I want someone to take the pain away.
That won't cure you, girl.
I don't care.
Tate sets the cup aside and moves in on her. He takes her in his arms and starts to kiss her. She accepts this at first, and then just as quickly starts to push him away.
No, stop.
What do you mean, stop?
No, this isn't what I want.
It isn't? Well, you better make up your mind fast, honey, because I don't like this on-again, off-again approach. Do you read me?
Look, just leave me alone. Do you understand? Just leave.
Tate steps aside, flinging open the door and looking outside. Jean crawls up into a ball at her bedside. Tate stares at her, then back. He then slams the door and launches himself onto Jean. She screams and fights back with punches and scratches, but Tate will not be swayed. Later, same scene, Jean is sitting on her bed, covered up in a blanket, hiding in the corner shadows as much as possible. Gabe enters. He looks for Jean and approaches.
Saw Tate outside. Said he's found you. Where'd you go? Are you all right? Where'd you run off to?
Tate's still outside.
He's gone off somewhere. Probably to steal supper. You don't look well.
I'm fine.
You sure? I'll get you a drink of water. You like some water? I think we still have a bit of that apple juice left. You rather have that?
When you leave, just leave me here.
Now don't talk nonsense. Of course we'll take you. We 3 gotta stick together. Who's gonna look after you if we don't?
I mean it. Leave me here.
Now you're not thinking of jumping back into that ocean, are you? Because that's out. We're going to have an understanding right now.
I'm trouble. Don't you understand? What's it take to get through that thick skull of yours? I didn't want to be saved. You're not my hero. I don't want to go with either of you. Stop trying to help me. Stop saving me. Leave me alone.
Jean buries herself in her blanket. Gabe stands around trying to find what to do with his hands, as if thinking of something to say.
I'll go see what Tate is up to.
Gabe leaves. Tate appears on the shore with the parts of an old shotgun in his hands. Gabe approaches.
Where the hell did you get that thing?
Being resourceful?
It looks rusty. Will it work?
I can make it.
Does it fit together?
It will.
Get any shells for it?
Tate reaches in his pocket and pulls out a few shotgun shells.
You're not thinking of trying another big score. That's how you landed in the clink in the first place.
It may come in handy.
Where'd you get the shells from?
Inventiveness.
Wait a minute. You can't just pick up live shells off the ground from a junkyard. Somebody's got to hand them to you.
And?
You bought these with our reserve money, didn't you?
Yeah.
And the gun?
Talk to somebody.
Are you crazy?
Come on. Didn't even ask my name. What's he gonna do? A background check?
You spent our money, our hot money on this shit?
It'll make life easier when we get down there.
Oh, fuck, man.
Changes your perspective, doesn't it?
And what about all this other stuff you've been pilfering? Have you been going into stores with our cash or just swiping?
Depends on when and where.
Have you been breaking and entering too? Fuck, man! They've got cameras and shit. You going back to the same places? I thought you were digging stuff out of the landfill.
With your appetite for food? Are you kidding? Come on. Are you really so naive as to think I've been bringing all this stuff from hopping over the fence at the junkyard? Or sniffing out supplies from Goodwill?
Well, no, but...
We've had to do some shoplifting for the food, you know. You've been there.
Yeah, but...
And we've had to spend some of the money we stole just to keep things legit. Especially when we couldn't get anything by any other method. You think we're going to go to Mexico on nothing?
Yeah. No. I don't know.
While you've been playing the happy homemaker and taking care of Susie Q, I've been getting the stuff, remember?
All right.
Has this stuff been growing on trees? Where you been, man? I know, watching over your China doll to see she doesn't break.
I said, all right.
She's probably tougher than you think.
Oh, how would you know?
Whatever's with her doesn't matter and shouldn't concern us. How long do you think this goes on? I've been telling you. We gotta go. Face it. Our time here is done.
Christ. Well, I guess we can't hang around here. People are going to smell something, if they haven't already.
Been telling you, Chico.
Jesus, Tate.
You still want to hang around that shack with that girl? You're nuts if you do.
I'm nuts?
Time to start packing.
Listen, I wouldn't go back there just yet. Jean seems to be in an awful state. I don't know what to do with her.
What did she tell you?
Couldn't get much of anything out of her. She doesn't want to go with us.
Just as well.
I think she just wants to die. When we leave her, she's just likely to jump in the drink again.
Gabe, it's really not our problem.
What do you mean it's not our problem? She's one of us now, isn't she?
Is she?
We stick together. That's how we make it.
Gabe, you're so full of this Three Musketeers horseshit. We're each on our own. Where it works, we stick together. Where it doesn't, there's no point.
What about all this talk about Mexico and setting ourselves up and so on?
What about it?
I thought we were partners.
You thought? I had no illusions, Gabe. We're both opportunists. It's convenient to stay together for now. But for how long?
You may consider yourself an opportunist, but...
So are you. You just disguise it better. You think you aren't.
So... does this mean we're splitting up?
Does it? That girl is going to come between us one way or another. If she doesn't slow us down, she'll split us up. You might as well decide right now. If you want to stick with her, then do so. But count me out. I'm for moving away from here now, and not waste another moment. You come with me, fine. But you come alone, not with her. Understand?
Is this an ultimatum?
It's a matter of convenience, of survival. That girl's an emotional mess. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, life is awful. Life is shit. Aren't I pitiful? You want to look after that? Do without me.
You are a heartless bastard, aren't you?
You forget, I didn't kill anybody.
But you could, couldn't you? If you had to.
I suppose any of us could. Even that girl down there, if it was a person not to see taking her child. But if I've got a choice, I prefer to move on. Now you gotta make a decision. I'm leaving at nightfall. Are you coming or aren't you? Your choice. Me or the girl?
Tate leaves.
You're a bastard. You know that?
The fish shack at night. Tate is stuffing a few odd items, including an extra shirt, etc., into a makeshift knapsack. Jean is back in her corner. Gabe is sitting on his bunk.
I'm thinking you should stay here. I'm thinking going on the road is the wrong idea now. Something's going to happen. I can feel it.
Tate continues to pack, tossing in a few odd food items and ignoring Gabe.
I'm thinking splitting up is a bad idea.
You want to come? Come.
But
She stays.
what do you got against her?
Nothing. Nothing, but she doesn't fit.
Let him go.
Oh. So now you want to split up too?
He's right. It wouldn't work.
How do you know? You're always so quick to give up.
That's exactly why it wouldn't work.
Gabe, give up on this idea that we're one happy family. We're not. 3 amigos. Us against the world. It's crap.
Where'll you go?
The only thing I'm sure about is that I'm walking out that door.
You gotta have some sort of plan.
We didn't when we broke out, did we? We just went. Yeah, living by the seat of your pants may not sound like the brightest idea, but sometimes you gotta just let the wind take you. Sometimes God or the fates have a better idea than you do what's in store for you.
Oh, what do you know about God?
Nothing, Gabe. I just know me. So don't give me the moral high ground when you don't stick to it yourself.
At least I can feel remorse. I feel some sense of guilt for what I've done.
Congratulations. You'll get into heaven, meet Father Enders, and then immediately be sent to hell. Your sense of remorse intact. You may only have to wait 1,000 years before your sentence is revoked. Lucky you.
Okay, so I'm not anyone's model of purity. I'm trying.
How? Because you saved her? A screwball who doesn't want to be saved? And you're planning to run away to Mexico with her to avoid the law and live happily ever after? That's your idea of repentance? How did we get on this dumb subject anyway? Are you coming with me or not? If so, get your stuff together.
For God's sake, let him go.
See there? She doesn't even want me around. Convinced?
Don't you want to go along? Don't you want to find a new life?
Ha!
Yeah, I'm with her on that one. New life. We're likely to get ourselves killed. Of course, tell the girl that, and she's likely to join with great enthusiasm.
You think I'm anxious to die?
Aren't you?
I don't know what I am, but I'm not going to be a tennis ball between you two.
Fat chance, honey. I've had all I want from you.
She throws a discarded can at Tate.
Fuck you, bitch!
Tate takes his knapsack and leaves.
Tate! Wait! Wait!
The two are standing just outside the doorway.
You can't leave like this.
I can't?
Look, I'll go with you. Just wait a minute. Let me talk to her for a second.
Christ. Make it snappy.
Tate drops his knapsack and leans against the door. He digs out a cigarette from somewhere and lights it. Gabe goes back in towards Jean.
What can you do if we go away?
I don't know. This place is kind of homey. Maybe I'll become a permanent resident. I'll become a creepy old bag lady everybody whispers about. Scare dogs and small children. Live by eating scraps from discarded cans of cat food.
You can't stay here. You don't seem to be in any mood to look out for yourself. Your best bet is to come with us.
Haven't you heard? He doesn't want me.
He's just grousing. That's his way.
And what will I do if I do go along? Really?
Hell, I don't even know what we're gonna do.
And you may not even make it there. You guys are wanted. I'm not.
Well, not really. You're probably a missing person by now.
So I say you abducted me to get myself out of trouble?
Don't be absurd. You wouldn't do that, would you?
Who would they believe? A couple of crooks or a woman without a record?
Stop it. You're talking nonsense.
Or why don't I just say I was brutalized by you? That would work, wouldn't it?
Why are you talking this way? What's the point?
Are we going or not?
In a minute! So what's the use of staying here?
I can die here.
You can die anywhere.
Here takes less effort.
I'm not gonna let you.
Why?
We're stronger together. We can help each other out.
You guys will be carrying me. How will I help you out?
I don't know. We'll think of something.
I'll bet. So what, it'll be your turn next?
My turn?
Yeah. Isn't that the idea? I get passed around like a football between you two.
It's not like that.
Isn't it?
No.
Is that what your pal says?
Why? What did he tell you?
I'm going.
Wait up! What did he tell you?
He didn't tell me anything. He showed me.
Gabe!
Shut up! What do you mean?
Why don't you ask him? Go ahead. Ask him.
Are you going to listen to that crazy bitch? Or are you going to come along with me?
What does she mean, Tate?
Look, I've had enough.
What does she mean?
She had it coming to her, for Christ's sake. I didn't do anything you haven't wanted to if you had a little more nerve.
Gabe lunges at Tate and they fall, wrestling to the floor. There's a struggle and punches are held and punches are occasionally thrown. Jean stands up in the corner far away but watches intently but with ambivalence as to the outcome. The men wrestle and roll over into the kitchen area, splattered supplies like discards around them. Gabe manages to grab a hold of a pipe placed against the wall for popping up the chimney flue. He clubs Tate over the head and then repeats the action again and again until Tate lies absolutely still. Gabe takes a moment to catch his breath, then stands. He stands in horror at the pipe in his hands and then at Tate's body. He turns to Jean, who cowers behind the blankets, and he tosses the pipe away.
Tate! Tate! Are you all right? Tate!
Ah!
Shut up! Shut up!
You killed him!
Just shut up! I don't know that!
What do you call it? You're a murderer! You told me you were, but I didn't let it get to me, but you're a murderer! Again! You were a murderer and always will be a murderer!
I said shut up!
What, are you going to murder me now?
Hell, you want to die? What's the difference?
Gabe turns back to Tate, tries to find breath, tries to find a pulse, tries to find life.
Shit! Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus, God!
Gabe paces and suddenly squeezes into a corner himself.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I didn't mean to. You saw? I didn't mean to.
Jean pulls herself out of her cowering position and takes a step or two forward.
You didn't mean it, Gabe. But what are we going to do?
I don't know. I don't know.
We've got to do something.
I don't know. I don't know.
You were like this with that priest, weren't you?
Gabe sniveling nods his head. Jean goes over to Tate and takes a cautious look, then goes over to Gabe and kneels next to him.
Our time here is over.
Gabe nods his head. The seashore at sunset. Jean and Gabe are sitting on the shore, staring out to sea.
Wind really catches in your breath. It's part of the reason I came here. That sea air is so strong. Sometimes I feel as if it would strangle me. You know what I mean?
You don't feel worthy, do you? All this time, you haven't felt worthy.
Worthy?
Worthy of anything.
No.
I guess I haven't felt any better. I doubt if Tate did. I know what that feels like now. I guess now that I look at it, I've always felt that way. I just haven't been much aware of it. That priest I bumped off, he angered me. He angered me because I felt, who do you think you are? Being in charge of all these people, this church, all these souls. I mean, he went to a seminary, he got his license on papers or whatever in the hell they get. But who really knows what's in his heart? God? Why didn't God have the good sense to kick him out? Why let him pick on my little brother? Maybe I was God's instrument. But that doesn't make any sense. Look how what I did messed up my life. Why would God want me to mess up my life to save people from that creature he put in charge of his church? Am I a hero? Is this what sacrifice is all about? Doesn't make much sense to me. Look at you, Tate. Maybe it's because I wasn't worthy of anything else. Maybe God said, let him do it. He's just not worthy. And now Tate. Could I have stopped him without killing him? Did I have to stop him?
What difference does it make? Did it undo what he did? Maybe I'm not worthy of being saved either. You could have let it go.
Think so?
Yeah. Why did I marry a bum? Why was Jack taken from me? Because I, too, am a bum. Why else would I stay in a shack with a couple of cons?
Think somebody's looking out for you?
Only if some bills go unpaid.
They're looking for me. I just gave them twice the reason.
Where will you go?
Where can I?
A place where no one will find you.
Where's that?
I'm going away too.
You want to come with me?
It depends where. To Mexico? No. I don't have the energy to make the effort.
And I get the feeling without Tate, it might be a useless venture. Say what you want about him, but he's the guy with motivation, the resolve. It was his idea to break out of prison, you know. I'd have never thought of it.
I suspected as much.
So what will you do?
Go to a place where no one will find me.
You can't stay here.
I don't intend to. Out there. On the reef.
What about it?
Say there's more life on that reef than there is in a forest.
Oh? Never thought about it.
Think of it. New things growing all the time.
Well, I guess a kid like me, I was never much for thinking about.
Listen,
What?
you can hear the birds.
Yeah.
And one of them sounds like Jack.
No use. I'm just not...
No, listen.
I still don't...
There. Here? That's Jack. I hear him every now and then when I'm out here.
Sorry,
It's gone now. He does that. Just to let me know he's there. Just to let me know he still thinks I'm worth something to him.
Did they pick up his body?
His body. Yes. Yes. But my Jack, he's still out there. He's there in the reef, swimming about, full of new life, new wonder. Wouldn't you like to be like that?
Yes.
Those creatures out there, they belong. They don't think they are unworthy. They just are.
Yeah.
So why are we plagued with that worry?
Maybe we have to earn it.
Does that mean unworthy people that we haven't?
I don't think you are unworthy. Why don't we talk about unworthiness?
Because we know it. We feel it. We need to expunge ourselves.
And how do we do that? Wait! I heard it that time too!
Jack wanted you to hear it.
Yes! I thought.
You thought I was crazy.
You think he's still out there? Not in a jar on some shelf?
Would you like to meet him?
Do you think he would listen to me? He would understand? I mean, he doesn't know me at all, and...
Jack is very open to people.
But I'm,
Or what? A man who makes mistakes?
a man who makes mistakes. And what about you?
I am his mother. I am always to be his, no matter what.
No matter what.
What is there to go back to?
You know what there is to go back to.
And all that fresh new life out there. I was prevented once before. You see the point of it all. I'm coming, baby! Jack! Jackie!
Jean stands. Gabe follows her example.
Mommy's here! Mommy's never gonna leave you again!
Gene dashes off.
Gene!
He waits.
Yes! It's time to go.
Gabe follows her off. This is SW Radio, audio channel 4, Solar Wind Multimedia. You have been listening to Sadness by Ron Harrison Sunhawk Schaefer. Steve Pavlik played Gabe. Michael Davis played Tate. Kristen Marie Wilson played Jean. The program was directed by the author. This program was produced by Solar Wind Radio and is responsible for its contents. It is copyrighted by both Solar Wind Multimedia and the author. You're listening to Solar Wind Radio Theater. This is SW Radio.